Are ye ready to talk about this comic? Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Byrd and I'm going to be reviewing my first comic I've ever read in my life, and this is another Rippaverse book. If you haven't seen my Nerdrotic book review, I also reviewed that nonfiction book. I dressed as piratey as I could for this review, but we're trying to be as piratey as possible for this review because Daughter's Revenge is a pirate story. So this is the artist edition. Obviously you can see it here. So this is just the black and white line art, basically. As an artist myself, I love looking at other artists' line art and seeing like the base level of drawing before you even add in color. Like, that's something I like to look at, so I got this edition. Daughter's Revenge is kind of a collaboration, but the main person is Jay, who wrote this, and it's basically an origin story of Captain Reed. I haven't looked into much of his pirate channel stuff, so I don't know a lot behind why this was picked and written this way. Other than Jay enjoying pirate history. But this comic is, like I said, an origin story for Captain Reed. And Captain Reed is kind of he's a multifaceted character because he has a Christian faith and that's what he lives by, but he also has to do things that aren't necessarily Christ-like, and often goes for repentance and stuff. But it's very obvious that he does live by Christian morals because he refuses to drink alcohol while all the other pirates are drinking alcohol. So that's one thing. If you're looking for kind of like a more Christian character in a comic book, you'll get that in this one. But don't be fooled, it is labeled as teen, but I think some of the content in it, I don't know, I think teen, maybe older teen, like maybe 16 and up, based on some of the imagery that is portrayed in this, and I'll show you an example in a second. But this is, if you could, like how we describe grimdark fantasy, that's kind of what I would say this comic is, but it's not fantasy, it's a full like pirate historical fiction pirate story. And I'll show you the page that I'm talking about that kind of surprised me and made me glad I didn't get this in color. So you basically get a disembowelment depicted, and that's a very grimdark thing to read. Reading that, I've read plenty of books with that described. It's a lot different when you actually get the image of it. Kind of like in movies when things are depicted, whether they're shown, whether it's fade to black or whether you're actually shown the gore or not. And so it's that kind of thing you need to expect going into reading this comic. But that aside, the fact that I could kind of cringe at that page means the art is really great in this book. The artist is Eric Hodson, and I misspoke before. Both Jay and X-Wing or Russ co-wrote this, giving people credit where credit's due. But I really love the art in this. There's full pages of art. It's not just always broken up into the comic cells. So I really appreciated like the full page art. I feel like the character work was done really well in this. I'm a person used to long novels that have all this time to tell you about a character and get you to understand their motives. And in this, within a page, I could understand who the character was, why this character interacted with Reed this way, why Reed would trust or distrust a character. Basically, I understood the relationships well within a page or so, and so that was one thing with the writing that I was able to understand really well. There was one character towards the end that I wasn't quite sure his ethnicity. I did get the black and white version, so I don't know, based on skin color, what he was supposed to be, and I don't want to spoil it because it's at the end. I wasn't, based on dialogue, I wasn't quite sure. I have an idea, but I didn't fully understand. So that was the only thing that kind of stuck out to me, that I'm like, I'm not quite sure how to place you, but it wasn't a character that we really needed to know well anyway, so I think it was fine. I wouldn't say it's a cozy pirate story. I don't know that you would go into a pirate story expecting a cozy, fun time, but this is definitely like, it fits the correct tone for piracy and that time in history. And I don't know that enjoyed is the correct word for saying I liked the story, but it did really captivate me, and I wanted to see what would happen next and how things would pan out for Reed and the rest of the side characters that he has relationships with. But it's definitely a tough story. So also know that going into it, it is an origin story, or that's what it fully felt like to me. So when we got to the end, no spoilers, I feel like I wanted more. I want more. I want a spin-off, Pirate Adventures, something. I would read more of Captain Reed. I really enjoyed where this story went, but I want to complete the story. So the ending is ending enough, but I feel like people are going to want to sit with this character more. It leaves it open that we could have more, and I personally would like more. I really enjoyed this comic, so if you make more, I'll read more. Now, as far as packaging and the Rippaverse publishing itself, they once again super packaged it well. It's almost like a binder cardboard, and then they put bubble wrap and then put it in a sleeve. This was actually delivered along with a different book package that I got, and it was a super stormy, rainy day, and the other books got damaged, but this comic did not. So that's saying a lot about this company and how well they do with distribution and packaging. And they take really good care to make sure your book you purchased gets in your hands in a good condition. And I have one gripe, not a huge gripe, this came down to actually in printing. One page I got like a double page printed oddly. This page was randomly doubled a page later on the opposite side. So I got two of the same page, and it just threw me off a little bit to be in the middle randomly again, but it wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't get thrown off too bad. I realized that it was a copy because it didn't fit with what was happening. I was like, didn't I just read that? And I did. It's not like it took the place of a different page that was supposed to be there. It was just like it got randomly printed on the back of a different page. So it's extra limited edition because I got an extra double page. That's just one thing I noticed with like printing quality control, but it wasn't a big issue. I still enjoyed the story fine. It was just kind of funny to be like, am I going crazy? I thought I just saw this. So it was just small printing error that I ran into. But I really enjoyed this pirate comic experience, and I would love to read more. And if you would like to get your color copy of this comic book, I will leave the link in the description. I hope you'll check out this comic. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did enjoy this review, please leave a thumbs up. And also, if you want to see more reviews or book-related content from me, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next video. Arr! Are ye ready? What's a pirate's favorite letter? If you said R, you would be wrong. It is C.